Chain Group, offering plans up to 20% per week. Finally, an escrow company for cryptocurrency investments. Is it worthwhile investing or is it shady? You're gonna find out. The name of the game is compounding. You're either making it or you're paying it. Lucky for you, you get to follow my trades. Let's make some money. What's going on, everybody? DJ Nate D here, and welcome to Passive Profits, a series where I share the progress of my passive income investments and review new and upcoming investment programs so together we can make some money. So today we're going to review Chain Group. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I am very, very pumped about this company. Why? Because I was thinking of the very same thing just a few days ago before I found out about this company. I said to myself, it would be great to have some type of intermediary between us and the actual investment companies in order to thwart off or to avoid some of these companies from having all of the funds and then disappearing like it's been happening sometimes. Here we have the best of both worlds. This company is providing what's called, it's similar to like an escrow service where you deposit the money with them, and they have several different investment companies that you can actually choose that money to go towards. I think the idea is absolutely brilliant. Like I said, I was already kind of thinking something along those lines and hoping something would come out, because that would really minimize the risk that we're taking by putting money into some of these programs. The other amazing thing that they're doing as well is that they're providing a fund, or shall I say, what they're calling a stabilization fund for each of the investment companies in case that particular company goes bankrupt or can no longer provide a service. That fund then goes out to us investors and gets split up so that we can get some of the money we invested back. I think that that's a brilliant plan. Again, everything under this company so far, I'm really happy with. Let's get into the details and learn a little bit more about it. Before we get into the review, we always like to go over the Passive Profits portfolio, just to give you an idea of how we divide our money and basically the different programs that we're in case you want to mirror what we're doing here. So at the present moment, the majority of the funds we have are in Questor World. It's the lowest risk of all the programs, and it offers between 15 to 20% per month. This is a worldwide company that has 100% transparency. They have nothing to hide. Their owners, their CEOs, their staff, they have offices. I mean, you can learn a whole ton of them by going to the Questor World official YouTube page, and you can see the CEO there doing leadership conferences and speaking to many of the staff members throughout the world. Second company we're in is in Bitconnect, and they offer between 25 to 30% per month, and we categorize them as low to medium risk. Down here we have a couple of high risk programs that offer some huge payouts, like for instance in Aurum Bank, we're invested with $150, which should pay out $1,500 in 3 months total. Followed by Genetics, which is paying 8% per day, and in 10 days we should be getting back an 80% return. Again, these are both very high-risk programs, but the strategy behind those programs is to make some huge returns with some high-risk programs in a short amount of time, and then turn around and invest them in long-term programs. We're also in an ICO at the moment, which I'll be talking a little bit more going forward on this channel. And finally, today we're going to be getting involved in Chain Group, which we're categorizing as a medium risk due to the nature of the program and how they hold funds in escrow. The top programs in Chain Group are paying between 70 to 80% per month. That's at least as of the last few weeks. So if anything like that continues, we're going to be seeing a really nice return from this company with lower risk than some of the HYIPs I mentioned down here. If you're interested in mirroring what we're doing, the link for all of these are in the description. Now, let's get on with the review. Here is the homepage to Chain.Group. They have some real basic information here, and their video you should check out that it really explains everything that they're doing. But in a nutshell, you open an account, load the funds, you select what they're calling trade group, you make the deposit, and then you earn. Now, what they call a trade group is what we've already been investing in, so on and so forth, sort of like Bitconnect, Questra, and so on and so forth. But instead of directly giving your money to the company, you deposit it to this intermediary, as I was saying, which is called Chain Group. And then they turn around and hand it over to the investment, but keep a portion of it for this stabilization fund. And again, this is all a really great idea. And I think this could be revolutionary for the cryptocurrency investment market. Again, it really will minimize a lot of the risk, or at least dampen some of it, because I don't believe you're going to get everything back if one of those companies ever disappeared. But there is at least that reassurance that some of it can be put back in your pocket, and then there is somewhat of a policing going on in the middle. So let's hop on over to the actual investments themselves. And as you see here, you can choose to sort by the highest profit for today, the last 7 days, or the last 30 days. Right off the bat, this one here called Dragon Foundation, that's the one that's been really kicking ass as far as how much it's been returning on a daily basis. So you can see the investments here, pretty much almost 20% for the top two. The top two is this Dragon and BitStrong. Those are the two programs that they have that are kicking butt this week, 20% per week. And they also provide you all of the details of the term and so on and so forth. So this one, for instance, is 180 days, so 6-month term. You can't compound and you can't withdraw early, but it's pretty much kind of like a Bitconnect where you can't withdraw early, at least as far as that's concerned. So the way that this would work is you would get your daily profits in your account, very similar again to like a Bitconnect type site or a Questra where you get the profits on a weekly basis, and you can withdraw the amount if you want to. Some of them let you compound it automatically. I would assume that there's probably a way to compound it manually, though it says here impossible to compound. I can't imagine they're going to turn away money if you're saying take all of the profits from this week and just put it back in there. It would likely start a new loan is what I'm thinking, or a new investment that goes out 180 days. Again, that's very similar to Bitconnect. Not everybody is thinking about that when they keep doing these reinvests. They're thinking that their payday is at the end of that 9th month or whatever it is, 280 something, 90 days or whatever. It actually isn't. And every day that you go in and you do those little $10 reinvests on Bitconnect is you're going out, that 300 days or whatever from that point and from that point and from that point. So when your initial loan is up, you have yet another 9 months to go to get all of those reinvests back. All right, so that's something you got to keep in mind with Bitconnect. And very likely that's the case here if you do reinvest. But nevertheless, these returns are really, really solid. I'm looking down. The worst performing plan that they have is this one called CloudShare. At least this week it did about 15%, and it did 63% per month. So those are really, really great numbers. They have a few other plans here, and as they go down, some of them are providing less returns, but likely more stability, and so on and so forth. Finally, down here at the bottom, you can actually invest in Chain Group itself. They have a fund which pays out a nominal 0.2 per day. I think that's about 6% a month. Yep, here it is. That's for those who want that really, really stable type of income. Now, the way Chain Group makes money, from what I read in the terms of service, is when you do a withdrawal, I believe they take 0.5% for themselves, and there's a few other ways that they actually make fees on the nominal side. They're very, very fair fees. Again, I'm very, very excited about this company. I'm so happy I ran into it. Some of my own subscribers have been telling me about it for a few days now, and I finally got a chance to look into it and jump on board. So this is what the back end actually looks like for Chain Group. I just created my account, and you guys are going to see me do some live deposits into my account. They actually offer ADV Cash, Perfect Money, Payeer, and almost all of the major cryptocurrencies as well, which is a plus. This is really, really interesting. So you could deposit with Ether, LTC, BTC, even Steam. That's awesome. And it says here, plus 30 others. Wow. I wonder if you could deposit with the Bitconnect coin. So the way they're accepting cryptocurrencies is they use the coinpayments.net service, which is another plus in my book, because Coin Payments is a legitimate company, and it's just another vote of confidence that they're accepting payment types from all of these different places. It's a lot more difficult for a company to just completely disappear, especially when they have all of these payment processors behind them that can freeze their money, right? So if they intended to completely be a scam, I would think that they would have kept it just at Bitcoin, which they could disappear overnight and no one can trace them, because that's just the nature of cryptocurrencies. So the way this works is you load a certain amount of money into your actual account, which will show up here under total. And then you can go over to the page we were looking at earlier and pick whichever investments you want those funds actually to go towards. I'd also have to guess any referral commissions that you make would show up here as well. And then you can turn around and invest that back into different programs as well. So I'm going to start off with a $300 investment. So let's enter that here. So the way to actually enter, it actually took me a little bit of time. I was doing some weird stuff and clicking on the wrong things. Is once you enter the amount here, in my case I put 300, you can't just hit enter because it's gonna try to this ADV cash, and that went to some kind of weird page. What you do is enter the amount you want, and then you come down here and you select the cryptocurrency that you're interested in sending. So I put that, and then I hit BTC right here, and then that opened up this pop-up page over at Coin Payments. So Coin Payments is telling me exactly how much I need to send in order to satisfy that $300 deposit. So I'll go ahead and copy the address which is going to be sent to, go over to my wallet, and go back and copy the exact amount of BTC that they are requiring. Right, and I put a little description for myself so I know what that is when I look at my wallet, and we'll hit continue. It's verifying. It's already jumped up to $3. That's actually adding the transaction fee, which is $2.55, and we'll say send Bitcoin. When that arrives, I'll actually come back on and I'll show you guys how I'm actually investing into the individual companies. So it seems it took about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes or so for the confirmations to go through. And the Coin Payments page shows it 2 of 2 as far as they're concerned. Now going back to Chain Group, it's showing up here the $300 deposit, but it still has an hourglass. I guess maybe they haven't received the funds yet, or maybe we have to log in and out in order for it to show up. All right, so I've logged out and logged back in, and that still doesn't do anything. So perhaps it takes them a little bit of time to receive it. I'll come back once again once that money has moved over into the balance that we can actually use for the actual investments. All right, so after a few more minutes of waiting, I actually went back and refreshed the page, and now the full amount of 300 is shown here. Now what's interesting is they didn't round it off or round it down like sometimes some of these places do. So that's kind of a nice thing. So you know exactly the amount you invested lands in the account exactly as is. Many times with cryptocurrencies, since the price is always shifting, by the time it gets to the investment company, it's either up or down a few bucks. And sometimes they're actually short the amount of money that you need to do the investment you wanted. So they've made things really, really easy. Here they actually are walking you through the process. As you see, this big sign here says now you can select a trade group to invest in. So I really, really like that so far, because many times some of these programs you don't know what to do next, and you have to go back to YouTube and try to find tutorial videos and things like that. So right off the bat, they are sorting it by today's profit, but I want to do the sorting by profit for the last 7 days. So since this Dragon Foundation program seems to be the one with the biggest returns, at least at the time of this video and the previous weeks before it, I'm going to actually drop 200 out of the 300 into this one program, and then I'm going to drop the remaining 100 into this one, which is called BitStrong. So they've made that real easy as well. As you see here, there's a button called Invest in Dragon Foundation. So we'll go ahead and click on that. And again, here is a very, very simple window. We just put in the amount we want to invest. In this case, 200. And there's a terms of service here, which I really suggest you read and you understand 100%. I've actually gone through and read the investment agreement myself. It's pretty much a lot of the same information that's in the initial terms of service when you create the account. I always suggest you read those things so you understand, especially with a company like this that's more on the legitimate side. They actually have rules and they have policies in place that you want to understand and know about. So we'll go ahead and click on I have read and hit invest. So that's pretty much it. I guess as each day goes, I'm going to see some gains happening here in this chart. So that one's pretty much done as far as Dragon Foundation is concerned. So perfect. Here on the left, it's showing 200 bucks already invested and available 100 more to invest. So in order to invest in the next company, we go up here where it says stats and trade groups list, and we click on that. And that brings us to that page we were looking at earlier that shows all of the investment companies. Again, I'm going to click on sort by profit for the last 7 days, and we'll skip down to BitStrong, which is the next one I want to invest in. I'm going to click that button, and we're taken to a very, very similar page as we saw before. Here, I'm going to type in $100, which is the remaining balance that I have here. I just went through the terms of services, pretty much the same as the other one. It just has a few different nuances, just explaining different percentage points and so on and so forth. I'll hit I have read and invest. And there you have it. I am now officially in both of the programs. I'm in BitStrong and Dragon Foundation. It actually has the dates here of the actual term of each investment. This one here, BitStrong, ends on the 7th of December, and the next one here, Dragon, goes out to February 25th. So I'm very excited. Chain Group is something, again, that I've been waiting for a long time. If you're looking to mirror and invest in it as well, the link is in the description, where you can trade along with us here at Passive Profits. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe now, and even more important is to select that little bell icon when you subscribe, so you get the instant notifications on your mobile device when we upload new videos, as we're going to be reviewing new programs coming up, and it's always important to be in the know about those programs when they come out. We also sometimes upload warning videos about programs we may have been in, or perhaps programs that are out there that we're telling you not to get into for your own good. And it's always good to have that notification instantly. I appreciate all of you guys. If you have questions, leave them in the comments. I'm very active in the comments, so anything you want to know about either this program or some of the other programs we're in, go ahead and leave a comment and I will respond throughout the day. DJ Nate D signing out. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.